Last week, over 300,000 Americans were denied credit cards for one simple reason. They had no credit history. Not bad credit, no credit. To banks, that means you basically don't exist. But here's the crazy part. Fixing that problem can start with as little as $200, and in the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly how. By the end of this video, you'll know 5 proven steps to build credit from absolute zero. No cosigner, no rich parents, no financial background. But pay close attention to step 5, because it's the mistake that destroys more credit scores than anything else. And it only takes one moment to mess it up. But first, let me tell you about Marcus. Marcus was 24 when he applied for his first car loan. He had a job, money in the bank, no debt, and the dealership told him something he didn't expect. Sorry, you don't exist. Not bad credit, no credit. And in America, that's actually worse. Right now, 45 million Americans are stuck in the exact same position. But once you understand the system, the solution becomes simple. Let's start with the rule most people never learn. Most people think credit is just a score. It's not. Credit is a reputation. It answers one question for banks. If we lend this person money, will they pay us back? 3 companies track that reputation: Experian, Equifax, TransUnion. And from that data, they calculate your FICO score. That number ranges from 300 to 850. But here's the important part. You don't need perfect credit. You just need history. A score above 670 unlocks things like cheaper car loans, better apartments, lower mortgage rates, and sometimes even job approvals. So the real problem isn't bad credit. The real problem is never starting the record. Which brings us to the fastest way to create one. Here's the frustrating truth. To get credit, you usually need credit. It sounds like a trap, because it kind of is. Unless you know the back door into the system. Marcus discovered it with $200. He walked into a bank and asked about something called a secured credit card. The banker explained it like this. You give us $200 as a deposit, and we give you a card with a $200 limit. Marcus thought it sounded ridiculous, borrowing his own money. But 6 months later, something interesting happened. His credit score finally appeared. A secured card works like a normal credit card. The difference is your deposit acts as collateral. Use the card for small purchases, groceries, gas, Netflix, then pay the balance in full every month. And follow one rule that banks watch very closely. Never use more than 30% of your limit. If your limit is $200, never carry more than $60. This tells lenders something powerful. You're not desperate for money. You're in control. But what if you don't even have $200 for a deposit? There's another strategy almost nobody talks about. Sarah was 19, college dropout, shared a tiny apartment with a roommate, and had $47 in her bank account. A secured card wasn't an option. Then she found something called a credit builder loan. Here's how it worked. The bank approved her for a $500 loan, but instead of giving her the money, they held it in a savings account. Sarah simply paid $25 per month. Each payment was reported to the credit bureaus. 2 years later, the loan finished. She received the $500, and her credit score was 671. A credit builder loan is basically a forced savings account that builds credit at the same time. You can find them at credit unions, community banks, or apps like Self or Credit Strong. Studies show they can raise credit scores 60 points in the first year. But the next strategy can move your score even faster. Building credit on your own takes time. But there's a shortcut hiding in plain sight, and it costs nothing. Deshaun was 21 with zero credit history, but his grandmother had something powerful. a credit card she had been paying perfectly for 22 years. She added him as an authorized user. Deshaun never used the card, never spent $1. But 60 days later, that 22-year history appeared on his credit report. His score jumped to 720, almost overnight. If a parent, relative, or trusted friend has a long credit history, ask them to add you as an authorized user. Their positive payment history becomes part of your credit story. Just make sure the card issuer reports authorized users to the credit bureaus. Most major ones do, but everything we've talked about so far can still fail if you make the mistake. That destroys most credit scores. And it only takes one bad month. Jordan did everything right. Secured card, credit builder loan, authorized user. 8 months later, his score reached 680. Then life got busy. He missed one payment. Just one, 32 days late. His credit score dropped 97 points in 1 month, and it took him 14 months to recover. Why? Because payment history makes up 35% of your credit score, the largest factor by far. So protect yourself with one simple habit. Turn on autopay immediately, even if you only pay the minimum. Better yet, pay the full balance every month, because a late payment can stay on your credit report for 7 years. 7 years from one missed bill. Consistency is everything. There's one more thing many people don't know. Check your credit reports. About 1 in 5 reports contains an error. You can check yours for free using Credit Karma, Experian, or annualcreditreport.com. Disputing mistakes is free and sometimes boosts scores surprisingly fast. Let's recap the system. Step 1, understand how credit actually works. Step 2, open a secured credit card. Step 3, add a credit builder loan. Step 4, become an authorized user if possible. Step 5, never miss a payment. That's it. You don't need to do everything at once. Just start with one step. Because someone who starts building credit at 22 instead of 30 can save over $100. Zero in interest across their lifetime. Lower mortgage rates. Lower car payments. More financial freedom. And it all starts with one small move. If this video helped you understand credit even a little better, subscribe. Because next week I'm breaking down something powerful. How people are jumping from a 580 credit score to 750 in under a year using the exact system banks themselves follow. No gimmicks. No fake credit hacks. Just the real strategy. Subscribe so you don't miss it. And in the comments, tell me what credit score you're trying to reach this year. I read every single one. See you in the next video.